Jordan rehearsal in school. What a wonderful world with her sister Juliette. Something we don't see very often. Let's watch.
I see trees of green and roses too. I see the bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful I see skies of blue, clouds of white, the brightness of God save the light, and I think to myself, what a the colors of rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, "How do you do?" They say, "I love you." I heard baby cry, and wish to grow. They learn much more than I ever known, and I think to myself, what a yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
I just want to say, probably all of you have already thought it, no doubt. But you know, part of the reason why I think we currently live in a wonderful world is Angelina. Uh, I had all but lost faith in humanity when I discovered Angelina, feeling that things were going downhill quick from what I could see. Remember, I'm old. I'm 68 years old, so I've been around for a while. And as you get older, you can reflect on things a little bit differently, I guess, because you have that perspective of somebody that's been around for almost 7 decades. And when I was little, things were simpler than they are today. A lot simpler. And I guess the basics were much more clear. The fundamentals of being a good person, that kind of thing. And over the past few years, it seems like it came on kind of quick, but it probably took a while to get going and build up steam, and I wasn't really noticing apparently. But a lot of the things that make us good, decent human beings have kind of drifted away a little bit, I think. This is just my opinion. Or maybe it's what I kind of believe is that we always can see everything as either negative or positive because there's equal amounts of both in everything, including every atom that it's the negative and positive energies that play on each other to make an atom be an atom. So that's an oversimplification, of course, but it's true when you think about it. So everything in life is a constant, I guess, a pull or a give and take between negative and positive energies. So I guess I was feeling, and I know this, but sometimes it's hard to clear the fog and be able to see what's going on. And I thought that, Angelina, when I first saw Angelina, it's like I really, I say this, and I don't know if people really understand exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe some of you do. I'm sure some of you have had a similar experience, but I mean, I took a while, and I went into a deep dive into my who I am, why am I here, why do I exist, what's my purpose here. I've lived all these years, and what have I accomplished? What have I done? Have I left a good mark or a bad mark? How will I be remembered? All this stuff. Do I believe in reincarnation or don't I? Because that's the first song I ever saw was "I Put a Spell on You," and after seeing that, I was like, man, that's a strong case for reincarnation. Um, but I had to go and I had to think about all this stuff because I was compelled to by a 9-year-old girl from Norway singing a song created by Screaming Jay Hawken after a night of drinking and carousing, as I understand the story, and hung over, and he just came up with this concept for writing this song. It became quite a hit back in the 50s, and he was able to use that to help get himself more stardom and more hits, and that's okay. That's what it's all about. That's what he was. He came up with a great concept, and it worked. Good for him. And Angelina sang it and made it better in every conceivable way, um, in my opinion, and to my taste more, if you will. And not that Screaming Jay Hawkins' version was certainly bizarre and entertaining in that sense, but Angelina's is way more than that. Not so much to the bizarre side, but more the the message is strong and clear and passionate, and the whole thing was just incredible to me. How this little 9-year-old girl could relay the feeling of that song, which is basically all adult themes, at 9 years old, and she's able to tell me this story, and I believe it from her. And she certainly hasn't lived a life that would include any adult type stuff like this in it. So I don't know where she got it from. So I had to think about that. So let me see if I can speed this up just a little bit. So I did the dive. I looked at everything, and I came out of it, and I thought, you know what? I really believe that everything's about equal amounts of good and bad. It's a constant struggle. Everything is in movement because of that search for equilibrium, and uh, and that includes people. Sometimes I think we got to this 50-50 mix of good and bad. You got the good angel on one side and the devil on the other side, right? Talking to you. You should do this. No, you shouldn't. Back and forth, and and we deal with that. Each of us deals with that in our own way, I suppose. But we make choices, right? Our life is full of choices. We choose this, we choose that. We take the best information we have, try to make good decisions. Sometimes we just impulsively make decisions, and the outcome's the outcome. I guess we have to just live with that, right? Because that's our lot as human beings. So, I put the mic way up here. I hope it was picking this all up okay. Maybe I'm not hoping it does. So, and that's what. So when you look at this is where this is all going. There she is with her little sister, holding hands, singing. She kneels down next to her so her little sister doesn't have to look up. They can just be eyeball to eyeball, and giving her comfort and support as she's up there on the stage, which Juliette looks relatively comfortable to me. And she's rehearsing, which seems to be second nature to her. As she's singing, she's really paying attention to her sister. Look, there's lights changing color, and this guy came up with the camera, took some pictures. None of that phases her, not one bit. Not a bit. And she continues on, and she never misses a beat, never misses a note. And it's just, it's just incredible. It's incredible. And, of course, her singing is beautiful, and it contains emotion and passion you don't find with other people singing. So, I guess I'll leave it there. I was getting into an in-depth conversation, and this is not supposed to be an in-depth. This is not a some kind of a high school or college class and things like this. This is just for entertainment, right? So if I can, if by talking about this stuff I can make you think about it a little bit, maybe that's beneficial, maybe not. Angelina made me think about things, and it gave me a more positive outlook on life because I know you can choose to see whatever you want to see. And is it that bad? Is the world full of bad people making bad choices? And, the old days were simpler and they were easier and everything was nicer and better and people were nicer to each other. People routinely held doors and did nice things. They helped neighbors that were struggling in one way or another, bake them some cookies or food if they were, the family was having a hard time with things, And people would find somebody loses their job, and a neighbor would find them a job, give them a job if nothing else happened. And nowadays people just go about their business and do their thing for the most part, and you don't get that neighborly. You don't often. Well, I shouldn't say you don't get it ever. You can't say ever, but it seems like people are not as neighborly as they used to be. They're not as friendly as they used to be. They're not as helpful as they used to be. And there's a lot of people that have plenty, but they don't really share it with those that don't have much. That any way that's visible, I guess, if you will. Maybe they do. Maybe they do. I'd like to think so, but I don't know. So I was thinking about all that stuff, and I thought, Angelina seems like a good person. This is just from watching I Put a Spell on You way back when. She had the ability at 9 years old to take that song, which is a kind of an iconic classic song, and make it now it's Angelina's song. It's no longer Screaming Jay Hawkins' song. He created it, but when she sang it, it was like she now owns that song because nobody else is going to be able to do that better than that ever. That's my opinion, of course, but I believe that. Okay, and the reason is it isn't just her singing, it isn't just her performance. It's what she puts in there, the secret sauce. She has emotion and passion in there, and I believe her. Okay, when she sings that song, even though I know in my mind, that's why a lot of people watch this like they're so perplexed. This can't be, but I believe it. I believe it. So anyway, I'll drop it there. But Angelina. When I watch this, it brings me to tears only because it's so joyful, so precious. It's a moment. It's one of those moments in time, right? Okay. Her family, probably Grandma Mary most of the time doing the filming, but it could be Sarah or even Uncle Mike. Her family has kept a record of her growing up that is unbelievable. I know my family has a lot of pictures too, but we didn't have like moving pictures, not Super 8 films. We didn't have that. We weren't rich. We didn't have a camera and all that, movie camera. But I got tons of pictures. You go back and reminisce. They bring. It's great to have those things. Do I share them with the world? No, who cares? Nobody cares about me and my family. We do care about Angelina. So when we get to watch her, we feel like I really feel like she's like my granddaughter. I do. I feel like she's like my granddaughter, and I don't know her. I've never met her. We don't live anywhere near each other. None of that stuff, right? But I just have that feeling like she's my granddaughter. I want to protect her. I want to see that her dreams come true. These kind of things, and anyway, yada yada yada. Okay, let's get out of here. Talking way too much today. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, there is you do have the ability to click off the channel and go watch another one somewhere else. I don't want you to. I don't encourage you to leave. But you know what? If I talk too much, that's what I would do. So you guys have a nice night. Thanks for watching. And for those that stuck it out, you're my heroes. Okay. Bye bye.